If you've ever walked out of an event or meeting with tons of notes and then done nothing with all that information, here's a few tools that might help you get that information from working memory to long-term. I'm Stephanie Scheller. I run a company called Grow Disrupt. We literally produce events that are built around the ADHD brain. So a lot of times our content is, how do you grow your business? How do you market better? How do you sell better? How do you build better operations? But the way we put the event together, from the venue to the agenda to the food to the notes, everything is built around the ADHD brain. So in that capacity, I've done an awful lot of research on what do we need to do to help people with ADHD get information from working memory to long-term memory so that they can retain that information and actually do something with it. And this started way back when I first started doing events. When I wanted to create an event where the event was the product, I didn't want people to feel like they needed to buy, $20,000 of coaching and consulting on the back end in order to implement what they just learned. And in pursuit of that, I began to study what helps people stay focused, what helps people retain information better, and we literally built our event around how the brain functions. So here's 6 things that we do at our events that can probably help you retain things better too, whether you're at an event, a meeting, or just day to day. One of the first things that we do is we always make sure that we have a custom-built note-taking tool that is designed literally as like a coloring page. Now this is really important because we have some studies that show that when we have both the creative and the logical pieces of our brain engaged, we tend to retain information a lot easier, and it helps move information from working memory to long-term memory. So day to day, if you don't necessarily have a coloring book or don't want to take a coloring book into your next meeting, which I totally understand, maybe just start to learn how to do sketchnoting or even just draw those doodles. Give yourself permission to do what you need to do because it is actually helping you retain information better. Number 2 is limit as much as you can the physical distractions. If possible, get there a little bit early and make sure you have space between you and the person next to you, because every time you're bumping elbows, you are getting stimuli and triggers to the brain that are eating up your ability to concentrate. Make sure you grab a seat that has a clear line of sight to the stage or the speaking area or the presenting area. You don't want to have to be twisting, because every time you have to twist or turn to face the stage, you are wearing down your physical reserves, which means you have less for mental processing. Whether you wear glasses or not, bring a pair of glasses. I like to use them as almost like blinders when I go to events, so I actually have a pair of glasses I will take. They're blue light glasses, so they're not necessarily prescription or anything, but I will wear them when I'm having an especially hard time focusing so that I basically am cutting out some of the extra distractions. And last but not least, wear comfortable clothing. I can't tell you the number of times that I showed up to events or meetings and I dressed the way I thought I was supposed to, and then through the entire meeting, my feet are hurting or I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm way too hot, I'm way too cold. Just dress comfortably for you. Your ability to retain and implement the information that you're about to learn is more important than whether or not you look perfect. Number 3, get a captioning tool on your phone and have it be processing live captions during the event where you can see it. This helps on a couple of different fronts. 1, it helps give you a little bit extra visual stimuli, so we tend to stay more engaged because we have more things firing in our brain. 2, it also can help just in case you have some kind of auditory processing challenge. And lastly, just in case you do get distracted, it's great for you to be able to quickly glance back and get caught up. Number 4, get enough sleep. Whether that's just the night before the event, just the night before the big meeting, whatever, get enough sleep. Your brain needs sleep in order to be able to function. So do yourself a favor and get enough sleep. Number 5, eat protein and veggies. As much as possible, limit sugar, limit alcohol, especially if you have a big meeting coming up, if you have a big conference coming up. Alcohol and sugars are not going to help your brain perform at peak. Focus on getting proteins and fibrous fruits and veggies, things that are going to help your body not just feel better, but also tend to feed the brain a little bit more sustainable energy. Number 6 is drink enough water. Now I feel like these last 3 are kind of like just general self-help tips, but I feel like sometimes we need not just the reminder, but we need an excuse for why we need to be doing these things. Because I don't know about y'all, but putting myself first is the last thing that I do. So having an excuse and knowing that I need to be able to retain information better. So I need to make sure I'm drinking enough water. I need to retain information better. So I need to get enough sleep. I need to retain information better. So I need to be eating proteins and veggies. That is incredibly helpful for me to be able to talk myself into it. Because if I'm just doing it just for the sake of me, it tends to get pushed off. But if I'm doing it for someone else or something else, then I tend to do a lot better with sticking to it. And water matters in the brain because water is what is carrying those nutrients back and forth. Water is what is allowing your brain to function at its peak. So why would you set yourself up in every other way and then not allow those nutrients to actually get to the brain? Here's what I'll promise you. I know this is quite a bit, but what I can encourage you with is if you can do all of them, fantastic. If you can do 3 of them, it will still help. If you can do 1 of them, and then next time do another one, and next time do another one, you can start to build habits, you can start to build consistency, you can start to build momentum. Small changes are sustainable, so make 1 of these changes now, and then work on the next one, and then the next, and trust me, you'll be impressed at how much better you are able to retain information and implement it just by following these simple steps.